Let's talk about circle leaders. You're going to need to set up the referral system with your community partners to be able to enroll circle leaders. The partners need to understand who you're looking for. And the assessment of circle leaders is we're looking for people that want to change. They're willing to put some energy into this. They're willing to work with volunteers. If they've had a history of drug abuse, mental illness, and or criminal activity, there's been enough recovery, typically about 6 months worth, that you can build off of. We're not in the major intervention business. We're in the recovery business, the ability to bring people to where they want to get to economically without having to ask volunteers to do things that are really above the call of duty and their abilities. Circle leader interview process will result in you meeting with at least 25 to 30 potential circle leaders so that you can enroll 12 to 20. And you should make sure you have a background check system in place. Your communication system, your phone and email response system has to be established. You have to be able to be ready to answer the phone and your emails, put together a newsletter and a calendar, have your donor system in place, your thank you system, and again, your staff have to have everything that they need to do their job. As we start thinking about the weekly meetings, you'll need to have 2 to 3 facilitators, preferably volunteer facilitators, working with the staff in order to begin both the circle leader and ally training. And then once people have gone through enough training, they can begin to be matched into circles. Meals should be organized 6 months out if you can. Get as many groups as possible to donate a meal a month. 4 would do it. Maybe every 2 months. You might have to have 8 partners. Child care workers need to be hired and or secured as volunteers. Lots of places have gone to schools to find students who are able to do some of this work, who are in the early childhood development business or wanting to get into that. The space should be secured, have access to child care, kitchen facilities. A liaison to the facility owners has to be in place in order to thank and resolve any issues that might happen with the space. And then you should develop a welcome committee to be able to greet new people and make sure that everyone feels at home. The ally recruitment team is a committee of the recruitment team. You'll need to have 2 allies for every circle leader. The ally facilitators need to be enrolled and trained in how to do this. There are ally training manuals and there are ally videos that are very instructive. People need to get familiar with that before they start talking to lots of allies. Circle orientation sessions can be organized to enroll potential allies, and your ally training program prior to class 8 should be completed so that we can begin to start introducing people to one another. Again, your background system, check system has to be in place. Okay, your services team is doing its homework before you even bring families into the process. You want to have referrals established with names and contacts for mental health, drug abuse, emergency assistance, health care, child care, housing, transportation, and even a giving-receiving system in order for allies and circle leaders to share things that people might need or want. Some people have set up storage units where they can put appliances in the event that a refrigerator breaks down in the middle of the week and it's an emergency and somebody needs it. The Big View meeting and the cliff effects. We have a cliff effect planning tool. Someone will need to be trained on how to use that and be able to help your circles figure out what the cliff effect will look like as they progress with more earned income. The Big View meeting is designed to have a monthly way in which you can bring the whole community together to discuss what's being learned in circles and how do we reduce the poverty rate in our community. You should have at least 3 volunteers assigned to helping circle leaders with analyzing their current and future budgets using the cliff effect planning tool to the best of your abilities. There should be volunteers that like to help with budgets and can help identify deals to lower expenses. Finally, you should have an advocacy group that's talking directly with your legislature about the issues of the cliff effect and other barriers that are coming up. The Jobs and Education team, its purpose is to identify employers that you can refer circle leaders to, begin to understand how to use our new job readiness program. The GED and post-secondary contacts, you should have all that in place so that your admissions and financial aid information is all there for the main places that people are likely to want to go to school and or get training. Workforce development, you should have a group that understands how it works and can refer people into that. So you can see that this group is really kind of taking a look at what's out in the community, what are the best leads, and how do we help people along those pipelines to get those opportunities. So let's just recap. The planning process includes your board signing off on a 3-year budget that's been created by your advisory team. The advisory team agrees to raise these funds over the next 3 years. You have staff, preferably 2 full-time folks who are hired and trained, who know community organizing and volunteer leadership development. That's what they're going to be doing more than anything. You have a communication system in place to handle internal communication to everybody and external communication to the wide world about what you're doing. Weekly meetings need to be nicely organized well in advance before you bring anybody into this process. You should have a way of recruiting and supporting and encouraging allies. That should be in place as well, again, before starting your program. All the community services that you think people are going to need should be found out about and relationships established with names and contact numbers. Your Cliff Effect team ought to understand how to use the planning tool and be able to work with solutions around mitigating some of the problems that will happen when people increase their earned income and have to leave benefit programs abruptly. Finally, your jobs and education team will have a sense of opportunities in the community and who can help people get into careers and better jobs. That's a flyover of all this. The planning staff here at Circles USA will support you through every step of this. You will also find more information in the planning guide, the workbook, and the other information that you'll find in our online support system and best practice archive. We look forward to your questions. We're glad you're on board, and we look forward to setting a strong platform so that there's no need to go back and hit the restart button whatsoever. Have a great time and ask any questions you have. Thanks.